A very good morning, viewers. Hello and welcome to the Morning News Show, where we bring you the latest headlines and insightful stories to kickstart your day. I'm Kohina Sharma and you have tuned into CNN News 18. First up, we're discussing, the G20 Summit is a diplomatic win for India, marked by the rapid consensus reached among nations on various issues. Now, in a first of its kind, an enormous trade and infrastructure endeavor connecting India, the Middle East and the Europe was presented on the day one of the summit. Now, as a part of the proposal, ports, electricity, data networks and energy pipelines are slated to be developed. Now, it is anticipated that it will serve as a counterbalance to China's Belt and Road Initiative, commonly known as BRI. Now, this comes as BRI has fueled worries regarding Beijing's increasing footprint across at least 3 continents. Now, apart from countering BRI, the economic corridor is anticipated to spur economic growth by utilizing improved connectivity and economic integration between Asia, the Gulf and the Europe. Now, meanwhile, in what can be called as a major development, Italy is likely to walk out of China's BRI. Remember, Italy is the only G7 nation to sign up to the BRI.
As at the G20, we made progress on issues like multilateral development bank reform to get to those nations that are neither poor nor wealthy but couldn't qualify before, debt relief, and increased infrastructure needs, not only in the global south but other parts of the world as well. We forged a groundbreaking new partnership that will connect India to Europe with the Middle East and Israel, with transportation by rail and by shipment through and energy supplies and digital connections that are going to open up untold opportunities for transformative economic investment through on that entire corridor. We've also discussed Russia's brutal and illegal war in Ukraine. I want to once again thank Prime Minister Modi for his leadership and his hospitality in hosting the G20.
Well, CNN News 18's managing editor Zaka Jacob spoke exclusively to Union Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav about the economic corridor. Let's take a quick look at that.
Could you first tell us or give us a sense of how this land corridor, which traverses a mass of land from India through Arabia and all the way to Europa, as some people are saying, how did this idea first of all come about?
Our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji has a very clear vision that India, Middle East and Europe, they have a common thinking, they have a good alignment, and the time has come when we should look at an economic corridor which is a combination of shipping and rail, so that from the west coast ports of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka and Kerala, we can send the goods to the ports of Middle East. From there, the goods can be then transported via railway corridor all the way to Europe. So this will reduce the distance between India and Europe by thousands of kilometers. This will create a totally new corridor around which many industries will get developed. India will get many new export opportunities. We'll also get an opportunity to export our technology to these countries. For example, in case of telecom, today we are exporting telecom equipment to more than 40 countries, and in one of the bilaterals, India's telecom equipment has been now accepted as a part of the Rip and Replace program in US. Similarly, in this corridor, in the economic corridor between Middle East and Europe, India will be able to find many opportunities to design the projects, to execute the projects and to export railway locomotives, railway coaches, railway wheels. All these items can then be exported to the Middle East and Europe via this corridor.
So, sir, initially this is envisaged as a land corridor, a railway project, but could this also be extended to, let's say, a gas pipeline? Could this be extended to optical fibers? India, of course, is at the forefront of 5G technology. So could this be extended to optical fibers as well, or is it currently envisaged merely as a rail and land connectivity project?
Communication is an integral part of this corridor. There will be a major optical fiber corridor all along this transportation corridor, And gas pipeline can also become part of it, because once you have the right of way, then it becomes reasonably easy to lay out other utilities along that right of way.
I also do want to ask you about, the funding for such massive infrastructure projects. There's always been a question mark, because clearly such mass scale of funding needs to come from the public exchequer of various countries that are involved in this project. So is there some more details you can share on how the funding for this infrastructure project will come from?
Many multilateral institutions and funds are willing to participate in this program because it has good economic viability. If you look at the distance which is saved in transporting goods from Europe to India, that is in thousands of kilometers. That itself produces viability. That itself makes the project viable. Apart from that, the many sections of the project are sections are already, countries have started investing in many of these sections already. So that makes the project significantly easier to execute. And then once the corridor becomes one seamless corridor, the revenues which it will generate, those revenues are going to be significant. So that's why it will be a good bankable project in my opinion.
Now this breaking input we are getting from the state of Maharashtra, where at least 6 people have been reported to be dead and a few others have been injured after a lift of an under construction building collapsed in Maharashtra's Thane. And that's a statement coming by Thane Municipal Corporation on Sunday. Now the accident took place at around 5:30 p.m. yesterday in the evening during the workers' descent from the 40-story structure after completing waterproofing work on the terrace. Now a team of regional disaster management cell and fire brigade personnel have rushed to the spot and rescued workers from the basement parking. However, Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis tweeted out to say that it's extremely shocking and the lift accident in Thane is extremely tragic. Now I express my deepest condolences to the families of the deceased who lost lives in this accident. He has also reached out and wished speedy recovery to the ones who have been injured in the accident. Now joining me on the broadcast is my colleague Yasha. A very good morning, Yasha. What more details are we gathering on this report?
So yes, this particular incident took place in Thane. This was in fact an under construction building. There were these workers who were working on that spot, and when their work was over, they were getting down to that elevator, and that's when the rope of the lift it weakened, and that led to this crash. And of which now it's been found out that there were 6 workers who lost their lives. One of the worker is seriously injured. He's been also admitted to the fire. He's also been admitted to a private hospital around. The details that were provided by the chief of disaster management in Thane had mentioned that one of the eyewitnesses has in fact had informed them. This was when he realized that the lift rope has weakened and this elevator crashed. And on receiving this information, they immediately rushed to the spot. Apart from that, there were local leaders also who rushed to the spot. Initially, the information was that there were 5 workers and who had lost their lives. But once they were taken to the hospital, one more who was declared dead, and one is seriously injured and still admitted to the hospital. Yes.
All right, Yasha, help us understand, are there any people who have been held responsible for the incident, or could you also provide us a detailed overview of how the local authorities are looking forward to address this concern?
So yes, in fact, when we speak of this incident now, the contractor as well as the developer would be questioned. Considering the cops were present last night, as of now there is no SR has been registered, but by today we could expect some kind of development that could take place. Once these people are questioned is when when the authorities could take any kind of action or register an FIR. So as of now, we of course understand that there were local cooperators and cops as well as fire brigade who rescued the spot, but as of now there has been no FIR, no section has been imposed against anyone. On the basis of the incident concerning cops who were present, there will be further investigation that to be underway on the basis of which there could be any action could be taken or an FIR that could be registered. Yes.
All right, thank you so much, Yasha. Well, we'll keep coming back to the story as the day progresses and we get more inputs on that. Now, swiftly moving our focus to another piece of input. Now, this is the Sanatan dharam debate that we are talking about. Congress MP Rahul Gandhi, who is currently on a tour of Europe, has waded into the Sanatan dharam debate once again on the foreign land. Now, Rahul has stepped up his attack on the BJP, saying that the governing party just aims to get more power at any cost, and there was nothing Hindu about their actions. Now, Rahul further claimed that being someone who has read Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads and other Hindu scriptures, he can say that there is absolutely nothing Hindu in what BJP and its leaders are actually doing in the nation. Now, accusing the BJP of trying to stop expression and participation of the minorities in India, Gandhi added, "I am not striving to not let that happen in the country." Meanwhile, politics over Sanatan Dharam Rao is only snowballing, with the Tamil Nadu BJP all set to intensify protests today in the state. Now remember, State President Annamalai had issued an ultimatum saying if HRNCE Minister Shekhar Babu refuses to resign by September 10th, they will intensify their protests. Now the BJP claims that the minister remained a mute spectator when Udayanidhi Stalin made all those statements on Sanatan Dharam.
I've read the Gita, I've read number of the Upanishads, I've read many Hindu books. There's nothing Hindu about what the BJP does. There's absolutely nothing Hindu about what they do. I have not read anywhere, in no Hindu book, from no learned Hindu person, have I ever heard that you should terrorize, harm people who are weaker than you. I've never read this. They are out to get power at any cost, and they will do anything to get power, and they will do anything to ensure that the Indian caste structure, the social structure of my country is not threatened. They want dominance of a few people, and that is what they're about. There is nothing Hindu about them.
Now, swiftly moving our focus to Karnataka's Shakti scheme, which is likely backfired. Now, the Private Transport Association has called for a Bengaluru Bandh today. Now, the Bandh is against the Karnataka government's Shakti program, which allows women to travel for free on non-premium government buses. Now, according to the private carriers, the scheme of the government, Karnataka government, has reduced their income variably. Now, the private transport associations are demanding reimbursement from the government for their losses. Now, the Bandh is expected to affect the operations of private taxis, cabs, buses and cars, further affecting the city's transportation system for today. However, the Karnataka Transport Minister Ramalingam Reddy has announced that government transportation services will operate normally and all vehicles will adhere to their regular schedules.
According to their sources, and they have announced in the media, print media, electronic media, from the strike starts from 12 midnight to tomorrow 12 midnight. But we have arranged for school-going children and office-going officials and even patients. Those are going for hospitals. Around 500 extra buses BMTC is arranged. Nearly about 4,000 schedules they will run. Nothing will happen. But they are going to for a bandh. Let them. They have right to do it. We don't object.
ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಏನು ಕಾನೂನು ಬಾಹಿರವಾಗಿ ಓಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಬೈಕ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಗಳಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ಇವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ರಮ ಕೈಗೊಳ್ಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಬಳಿ ಸಮಯ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಥವಾ ಈ MNC ಕಂಪನಿಗಳ ಏನಾದರೂ ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಕೇಳಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಅವರು ನಾವು ಬೇಡಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನ ಈಡೇರಿಸಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಒಂದು ನಾಳೆ ಒಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಎಚ್ಚರಿಕೆಯ ಗಂಟೆ.
ವಾಹನ ಸವಾರರಿಗೆ ರಸ್ತೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತಹ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ಮೂಲಭೂತ ಉದ್ದೇಶ. ಮೂಲಕವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಬಂದೋಬಸ್ತನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ತಿಳಿಸಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಫ್ರೀಡಂ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ಗೆ ಬಂದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರತಿಭಟನೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಕಲ್ಪಿಸಲಾಗಿದೆ. ನಂತರವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಡೀ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ನಗರದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿ ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿಗಳು ಕೂಡ ನಿಯುಕ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅವಶ್ಯ ಅನುಗುಣವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಈ KSRP ಮತ್ತು CR ತುಕಡಿಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಿಯೋಜನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ.
मिलके स्ट्राइक कॉल फॉर किए हैं, जिसका हमें भी उतना कुछ जानकारी नहीं था. अचानक कल हम लोग भी फाइनली डिसीजंस लिए कि हम भी इस बंद के लिए हमारा सपोर्ट एक्सटेंड करेंगे, लेकिन सर्विसेज डिस्टर्ब नहीं करेंगे. सर्विसेज वैसे ही रहेगी. कोई ड्राइवर पे प्रेशर नहीं डालेंगे कि बंद करना ही है. ड्राइवर पे छोड़ दिए हैं उनकी मर्जी पे कि वो बंद में भाग लेना चाहते तो ले, यदि वो सेवा देना चाहते, सर्विसेज में रहना चाहते तो रहे. कोई भी जाके उनको जबरदस्ती वाला बंद कराना, ये सारी घटनाएं ना हो. हमने इसकी चेतावनी भी जो जितने भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस इसका मतलब सामने खड़ के कर रहे हैं उनको भी हमने बता दिया है.
Well, that was the president of Ola Uber Transport Union talking, and he has reiterated that there will be protests and bandh all over in Bengaluru today, which is likely to affect all the commuters in the state. Well, it's time to slip into a short break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more news and updates on the other side of this segment. Hello and welcome back. You're watching the morning news show on CNN News 18. Well, now we are focusing on the state of Andhra Pradesh, where former Andhra Chief Minister and TDP Chief Chandrababu Naidu was sent to 14-day judicial custody till September 23rd in connection with the skill development scam on Sunday evening. Now, the court delivered the order nearly 6 hours after arguments by lawyers on behalf of the Andhra Pradesh CID and Chandrababu Naidu ended. Now, CID lawyers sought 15 days remand, while Naidu's lawyers submitted an application to reject the remand plea. While Naidu is in judicial custody, the CID will have to seek permission from the court to question him. The CID has also invoked the Prevention of Corruption Act against Naidu and has also claimed that the charges in this case carry a penalty of more than 10 years of imprisonment. Meanwhile, protesting against Naidu's arrest, the TDP has called for a statewide bandh today. Section 144 has also been imposed in Rajahmundry and Mangalagiri.
Court order giving remand to him for 14 days. It is a welcome this one in the sense, one, whatever the department has done and whatever the crime he has done, they have put forth before the court with strong evidences, and giving remand itself is the proof that prima facie court is also strongly believing that it's a strong case.
एक बड़ी सोची समझी साजिश के तहत माननीय चंद्रबाबू नायडू साहब को अरेस्ट किया गया, क्योंकि जगन सरकार को ये दिखने लगा है कि 2024 में उनको नहीं आना। पब्लिक उनकी लूट घसोट, उनकी लैंड माफिया, सैंड माफिया, लिकर माफिया, ये सब लूटों को देख चुकी है और वो परेशान हो चुकी है कि आंध्र प्रदेश की जनता अब ये चाहती है कि चंद्रबाबू नायडू साहब वापस आएं। इसी के डर और भय की वजह से ये सारे काम हो रहे हैं कि हमें माननीय अदालत पे पूरा भरोसा है और हम जानते हैं कि दूध का दूध और पानी का पानी जरूर होगा।
I don't think Chandrababu Naidu will be able to go into the public for asking vote in the coming elections after doing all these such crimes in the state of Andhra Pradesh, and he himself has never told to the public that I have never done any wrong in this scam, I have never done any wrong in these issues and all. He was always asking procedural points to the court, saying that you can't arrest me putting these sections, you didn't put my name in the FIR, you didn't put my name in these sections, I was not there in the charge sheets, and these are the major reasons he was pointing out, rather than saying that I was not involved in these cases. So end of the day, this is the victory of the people of Andhra Pradesh. He has to we have to, as a court of law, has to get back the money from Chandrababu Naidu, giving it back to the people of Andhra Pradesh. So
वो लीगल प्रोसीजर है और राजनीतिक विषय भी है। अब उनकी पार्टीज को डील करें, जो भी प्रोसेस है लीगल प्रोसेस है। उनके खिलाफ आरोप हैं, अब उसको वो कह रहे नहीं है तो उसके खिलाफ कोर्ट में जाना चाहिए और आरोपों को क्वैश कराने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए।
Well, swiftly moving our focus to the Maratha reservation row. Now, after days of protests over the Maratha reservation, Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde will hold a meeting with the state's cabinet subcommittee today. Now, the meeting will be held to discuss the community's demands after the protests in the Jalna district took a violent turn following a police lathi charge. Now, the Maratha Kranti Morcha is also observing a day-long bandh in various parts of the state to condemn the lathi charge on protesters during the demand for the Maratha quota. Meanwhile, the Sakal Maratha Samaj has also organized a bandh in Thane today, which has been supported by the NCP, Shiv Sena and MNS. Now remember, the Maratha leaders have been demanding a 16% reservation and education quotas in the state for many years now.
मराठा समाज को आरक्षण देना, ये भूमिका सरकार की स्पष्ट है और इसीलिए तो पहले देवेंद्र जी मुख्यमंत्री थे तभी सरकार ने आरक्षण दिया था। वो हाई कोर्ट में कंफर्म भी हुआ, दुर्भाग्य से सुप्रीम कोर्ट में खारिज हुआ। लेकिन जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो ऑब्जर्वेशन वहाँ पर रजिस्टर की है, वहाँ पर जो त्रुटियाँ जो खामियाँ उसमें दिखाई है मराठा समाज रिजर्वेशन रद्द करने के समय, और इसीलिए सरकार पूरी तरह से गंभीर्य से काम करे, सीरियसली इस मराठा समाज के आरक्षण पे काम कर रही है।
Well, the Maratha reservation row has just been snowballing from the last many years. Today, there will be a meeting held to decide the